It's time for the Cease and Desist podcast.
All right. We got a birthday in the building, Mr. Sean Mullins.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy day.
Hey, cheers, man.
Yeah, cheers.
Birthday, dude. It's always awesome.
Happy birthday.
It's always awesome because you're the oldest out of us, so it makes me feel younger because you're like a half a year older than me.
There it is, yeah.
How you feeling today?
You know, I feel loved. It's nice the team got some cupcakes, got a birthday
The smallest cupcakes, but they were delicious. Good job,
nice.
Willie.
I got to blow out some candles. I actually don't recall the last time I blew out candles.
Oh, wow.
It's nice.
It was nostalgic.
I thought your hair was going to start on fire.
We should have.
It would have been viral. That's for damn sure.
So good.
It'd be nice to get a haircut.
What's your favorite thing about your birthday, and what is the least favorite thing about your birthday?
Ah, man, that sounds selfish. I feel like the best thing about it is you just get that little extra leeway to not give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing the dishes tonight,
Yeah.
and I'm not even going to tell you I'm not doing them.
Yep.
Like, you know,
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
I'm not going to act like I care either.
Best thing, least favorite is, this sounds terrible, but like, it's super nice when people call you.
Yep.
But it's also like you have to take their calls.
Yeah.
And so
Stop
it's like,
whining.
Yeah, exactly.
I always like asking
interrupts the
people who called you that never speaks to you at all throughout the
Everyone.
year. Yeah.
Everyone.
I love the spouse happy birthday wishes on social media because you're sitting fucking right next to them. Why are you telling your husband happy birthday
Yeah,
on fucking
that is
Because
Facebook?
they need them likes.
You're sitting right next to him. Like, that is the cheesiest shit. I'm sorry. That has
Bravo.
always
It's
cracked
very
me out,
Bravo
man.
TV.
Like, what is that about?
You're offending Cassandra
Thank
right now.
God.
Cassandra just did that.
I don't get
I
it.
doubt it. I doubt she
No.
would post it.
Cass doesn't seem superficial like that.
No, she wouldn't do that.
Can we
Doesn't need the
introduce
likes.
our guest?
Yeah, buddy, this is one of my favorite people in the insurance industry, and I'm not just saying that because he's here. This dude is the realest motherfucker I know in the insurance space, besides Nick Ayers, I would say.
Ooh.
It's
He
a
is
battle
real.
1 and 2. Mr. Chris Langille from Advisor Evolve, welcome to the Cease and Desist
Yeah,
podcast.
buddy.
What's up? Yeah, thanks for having me, man.
Welcome,
Glad to be
welcome.
on.
What's happening, man? You're calling from the East Coast.
Yeah, Philadelphia.
Nice.
Man, it finally warmed up out here. It was miserable here for a long time, and I was like hating life. But the sun's out, man. It's good now, man.
We feel you.
You know, I think I might be like a seasonal depressive.
Yeah,
If I'm being honest with you. So I'm happy now, though, man.
But hey,
it's cool.
you just got back from the draft in Las Vegas. What was that like?
Oh, what?
Yeah, dude, that was crazy. So like, I'm not the biggest like Vegas guy, if I'm being honest.
Boo.
It's cool, but it's like my one buddy who's like the planner of our group of friends.
Yep.
He kept us out there for 4 days. I'm like, why are we here for 4 days? Like,
That's 3.5 days too long.
yeah, dude, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, I'm not 21 anymore. Like, I can't hang like I used to. And so I was like, man, like, but it's fun. Like, you know, Vegas, it's like you have this like people that have never been there or whatever have this like sort of vision of what it is, like this majestic place, and there's like, you know, pretty women, and like it's just like palaces everywhere. And the truth is, dude, I never seen so many homeless people, junkies and weirdos in my life. Like, I was like walking down the street like, dude, get away from me. So I'm kind of like a germaphobe too. I'm like, I don't want to touch the rails here. Like, but no, like, I love NFL, man. Like, I'm a complete like junkie when it comes to sports, and in particular the NFL. So we try to get to the draft every couple of years if we can. We went to Nashville in 2019, and that was insane. That was actually better than Vegas.
Wow.
And then we booked Vegas that year because we were like, we had so much fun. We're like, let's go to Vegas. It's going to be in Vegas next year. And then COVID hit and everything got canceled. And so they rescheduled it to this past year, but it was cool, man.
What
like
makes it
being
cool?
able to,
The draft?
Yeah.
I mean, well, I'll let you talk. You've
Yeah.
been to them.
yeah, no, I mean, it just, there's so many people there, and like crazy fans are everywhere. And it's like it's almost like being at every NFL stadium, like in the same place. And just everybody's partying.
Did they
and
boo the
drinking,
commissioner
having fun.
every time? Like, I feel like they do every year.
They still doing it?
They
every
boo,
time he
they
comes
boo the
out.
shit out of him.
Yeah,
And,
right.
like players too. Like my one buddy, he was walking up and saw Rich Eisen from NFL Network. Like, you just run into like people and you're like, oh shit, that's the dude from like.
That's the dude that
George
tries to
Taylor
run
on
a
the
40.
40.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, you get to see athletes and like people, and like we saw there's one agent, I can't remember his name at the moment. He's like a very popular NFL agent.
It's not like
Rosenhaus?
Rosenhaus. Yeah.
No, not him. It's another guy. Like,
Did you see the
remember his
best Eagle of all time at the draft, Mr. Will Shaw from Better Agency.
Actually, no, I didn't see him.
My favorite.
I know.
Eagle.
I always forget that he played for the.
He's in the Ring of
he
Fame,
did.
right? He's hanging in the
Yeah.
Eagle Stadium.
Dude, he had a cup of coffee there, right? I mean, he was there for like what, 3 days, and then no, I'm just kidding.
Love
I don't
you,
know.
Hey,
Like we can talk. We're over
I
here,
know,
our
exactly.
bum asses.
I was in the crowd, probably like, let me get your autograph,
Yeah, right.
sir.
I was
I
really
don't know
mad
who you
at in high
are,
school.
Dude, I gotta ask some specific. So, being from Philly, probably one of the most ruthless fan bases. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, we're pretty bad because the thing is, man, like we have this thing where New York is right there, and I think we have like Napoleon complex where we think like we should be as
yeah.
big and bad as like the New York teams and just the New York market, and so I think like people in Philly sort of have that complex, but also like we're a weird type of people. I don't know, like New Yorkers are very what's the right word, like they are perceived to be very like kind of like rude and almost like smug,
Right.
you know, like where they won't give you the time of day, and if they do, they're like, you know, get the fuck out of here. Like Philly is a little bit different, where like we're not really smug, we're just assholes.
Yeah. Like New York is a
we're
little
like-
more
nicer.
New York is a little more bougie, man. Like I feel like
Yeah,
Philly
it's-
is not bougie like that. You got the true East Coast and Philly and
It's
Boston.
true East
same
Coast,
thing.
dude. I
Careful,
seen,
those
I
are
was at
some
a-
fighting words somewhere.
I mean, if you don't want to be called bougie, then don't be bougie. I can't
All right.
help you with
Yeah.
that.
Fair enough.
Like I was at the Eagles 49ers game this past year, and I saw first of all the 49ers traveled, like half the stadium was 49ers fans. It was crazy. They have a great fan base, but this little kid, he couldn't have been any older than like 8 or 9 years old, and I don't know if it was maybe the kid, the guy's kid, but a grown man was like, dude, get the fuck out of the way, and like pushed the kid. And he
Jesus.
like
Seems like he had to
kind
come
of went flying. I'm like, dude, that's a little kid.
Yeah,
like,
what's
and all
wrong
these
with you,
people
man?
turned around,
Wear Niners
and the
gear
guy
there.
was the Eagles guy. And I'm like, Jesus, dude, like you give us a bad rap, man. But,
All right,
like
next.
you're pushing little kids. Like, what's wrong with
Yeah,
you?
we don't know what that kid said. So
Maybe there's some
Could've-
truth to what
yeah.
Iverson said
No,
about Denver being a cupcake city.
Oh well, yeah. Come on.
That's actually a great point, because kids from Philly will talk shit to you like you're a grown man.
I kind of
So
love
he-
that though.
He might have actually deserved it. Now that you bring that point up.
I'd be one proud father.
You got him there.
Quick,
That's hilarious.
quick shift over a different sport. So, how does it feel to have your MVP taken from you by the true MVP?
Not only that,
I knew-
but
I
he
knew
didn't
this
even
was
make
coming.
he didn't even make first team All NBA. He
Ooh.
made second team All NBA.
Yeah.
and he wasn't even
I
close
knew
on the
this-
votes, by the way. The MVP
I knew
votes.
this was coming, dude.
A distant
I can't,
second.
I can't believe, honestly, bro, that he was that far off in voting. When I saw that, I was like,
yeah.
damn, like what did he do? And I think honestly, like the Jokic brothers probably like sent death threats or something to
Probably,
like the
man.
commissioner,
There's
because
some badass
those dudes, have
motherfuckers.
you ever seen them?
Dude,
Like,
they walked
don't-
by me. They
don't play.
We went to the playoffs last year. I was at the game. One of the Jokic brothers like literally moved me aside. And he's like, "I'm getting in front of you, boy." And it was like, "Holy
Yeah.
shit, you're like."
How do you do that with
7
no
foot.
muscle tone? It's just
Well,
like,
his
it's all
brothers are
just like
bigger than-
Jello body.
Yeah.
His brother's bigger than him?
Dude.
Oh yeah. Well, like bigger.
Yeah,
like-
wow. Wow.
Is he the little brother? Where's he stack up in there?
I think height wise they're about the same, but
Like
he's
age?
definitely not. Oh,
Yeah,
age wise, I'm not
yeah,
positive.
he's
Wow.
the youngest one.
Got it.
The
God, that'd be
brothers,
so
the two brothers
awesome
are
to be
older,
the
and
youngest.
they have a long history of like shady stuff too. Like they've been
Really?
in like jail and like gangs and stuff. Like
Eastern
yeah,
Europe.
it's,
I highly doubt there was
Damn.
anything shady here because Jokic was clearly better than Embiid.
Obviously.
Like, I think.
I mean,
yeah, debate done.
That's the
Door
true.
closed.
He's the
Although-
true
Conversation
dad by
over.
God. That's it.
Embiid is the homie though. Rock Chalk J.
No, man, I don't consider Embiid the homie at KU. That dude flaked out on the tournament. He
has a-
left us high and
He
dry.
had back problems.
I've got bad
He had a
blood.
contract to
What's
sign. It was a
interesting-
big check they were giving him.
Not that this matters right now, but look at Wiggins and Embiid just balling out right now.
Yeah.
It's
True.
interesting.
Didn't help us in the tournament whatsoever.
yeah, like 15 years later though, they were
Yeah.
supposed to ball out the first like
True.
3 years in the league, and they both like. Yeah, no, but here's the thing, dude. Jokic did more with less than Embiid, and I think that's ultimately why he won the award. I mean,
Yeah.
I couldn't name one other player on the Nuggets besides him, right? I mean,
Your boy, Austin Rivers.
Austin Rivers, the
yeah,
worst.
Austin Rivers,
the worst
No,
starter.
that's more of a joke.
Hey,
than
Donovan
Jeff.
Mitchell.
Oh no, Jamal Murray. Yeah.
Jamal Murray.
Jamal Murray, my bad.
You're
Donovan
good.
Mitchell's on Utah.
Yeah.
He's
Chris,
on Utah.
let me ask you this: do you think that Harden is done?
Bro, I didn't think he was. I think he needs to. They need to change his role. You know, he's not the one-on-one
Right.
ball handler / scorer that he was in Houston.
Yeah.
He can still shoot and he can still pass. He's very good at both of those things, but he's older, man. He's, what is he, 33 or 32 now, and just all those years in Houston where
Yeah.
every night he was like, it was like Allen Iverson
Yeah,
in Philly.
yeah.
Like every night, the entire game, ran through him. He was responsible to score and do everything. And I think that just like has taken its toll. But I still don't regret making the move. Like the Sixers had to get rid of Ben Simmons, or
absolutely.
he was going to get shot in Philly. Like people, I mean, old ladies were like, fuck Ben Simmons. Like, no one liked
to
Ben
his
Simmons.
face. To his
Not even
face.
little kids and old ladies. It was just like no one liked him, to the point where it was like, if I were him, I would feel like dangerous walking around.
He needs the Jokic brothers.
Dude,
I'll protect
seriously.
him a little bit. So it sounds like
bad.
Harden's going to take on the Carmelo role then.
Yeah, do it,
Yeah,
huh?
I think
Come off the
I
bench.
think
You
he
had
needs
to
to be
do it.
the spot
Better
shooter
than
in the corner.
Harden?
He needs to be that
All
guy.
right, now.
No.
Carmelo's a little older.
Carmelo's like
Our age, like 38.
Carmelo's on Medicare, dude. That
All
dude's
right.
old as hell.
Who's better, Carmelo
Here we
or
go.
not right now, but
Here we go.
just all time?
Yeah.
We're putting a team
Harden,
together.
for sure.
Harden or Carmelo, you take.
Harden.
That's a good question.
Carmelo
Neither
has
of them
more
played
points.
defense.
Carmelo has more
Yeah,
points.
neither play defense. It's like the same.
Remember who's a top 10 in NBA all-time scorers?
Well, yeah,
Who
but
would you have
Harden's
take the
also
last
like
shot?
5 years younger.
So
and he's
right
not
now,
gonna,
yeah,
and he's
I
not
would
gonna
take
last.
Harden.
I take
would
Harden now.
But he's not gonna last.
I'd take Harden.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's got
Is that
that
his
beard.
deal? Is
The
he
beard
a-
looks cool too.
You guys are loving this convo right now. You want to say anything?
I mean, this is
We got our
important.
producers of the show over here, and they're like, "What? The
It's
hell?
important conversation. Like, we
Like,
need
why
to
are
know
they
what
talking
Chris
about
thinks,
sports?
man.
Yeah,
need
we
to know
should
what
make
Chris
our
thinks.
way over to the.
Well,
Yeah,
no, like
Sean's-
maybe a segue from sports to something slightly different. Are you in any of like the FanDuel, any of the Barstool Sports apps? Are you making any bets?
DraftKings all day.
DraftKings?
Yeah.
all day.
Nice.
He says,
Yeah,
You
it's kind
guys
of a
like
problem for
hitting
me.
each other up on these things? Because
I no longer participate.
No, well, never
Is it a
mind that.
problem, Chris, or is it a solution? Because you can
Yeah,
either
exactly.
way, right?
No, my one neighbor that lives behind me, he's like, he's big gambler. He's a degenerate, and I would say that to his face.
Sounds like an awesome
he'll
dude.
bet on anything. He's like, I bet you that bird can fly higher than the other bird. I'll
someone
put
that I
50
know.
on it right now. I'm like, dude, I'm not that bad, but like, I love betting on football and stuff. So,
What's your biggest parlay you've laid down? Like, how many team parlay?
actually, I've never done like I did a three leg parlay in a Celtics Nets game,
Got
and
it.
I almost hit it.
Yeah.
But I don't normally do like crazy parlays where I'm doing like multiple
Yeah.
different games or different sports. It's usually just like a same game
Right.
parlay. But
You don't
I
do like
almost hit it.
the $5 put it all on every NFL Sunday. Just pick every winner and just go for that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I
that's-
mean,
I won a bunch of
them. I do prop bets too. Prop bets actually pay very well. $5 to see like
Who
who
wins?
scores first, and
Yeah,
it's like
wins the tip.
plus 2,500. Like, why not?
Sure.
Is Jamarcus Cousins going to get thrown out tonight? I mean,
De-
that's a prop bet that goes
DeMarcus.
50-50.
DeMarcus.
Why do I say Jamarcus?
Every time.
DeMarcus.
Every time.
What's he so mad
a
about?
minute.
I know we're getting off sports, but
He's
why
mad,
is he
dude.
so upset? What is he so mad about?
He's not with the Nuggets?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
is.
is.
He is. He is guaranteed to come in and get 2 points and a tech within the first like 30 seconds. No doubt.
No, for the problem.
He gets so
He
mad.
kind of gets paid for it, I'm sure.
He gets so mad. Like if
It's part of
his
the
shoe
contract.
becomes untied, he's pissed.
It's a big
He's
shoe. You know
upset.
how hard that would be to tie?
Like yeah, a big hand. You know.
It's like tying a rope.
Let's switch
Yeah,
gears.
we got to make our way over to insurance for a second.
So Chris,
Do we?
I've got a question I've been itching to ask you for a long time.
He says
man.
itching.
It goes like this. What is the most eloquent way to tell an agency that their website is dog shit? Like, how do you pull that off, man?
Sir, your website is dog shit.
It's dog shit.
The way that I normally say it to people is, "Oh, okay, I've seen worse, but
Just kidding.
there's a lot of room for improvement here."
Nice.
And that's kind of like an easy way to say that it's straight up cheeks.
right,
But we haven't actually said that to anybody. Yeah, your website is straight buns. I haven't pulled that one out yet.
I've never heard that.
I hope it
Yeah,
happens.
straight ass
Dude,
cheeks, dude.
so we probably had this on multiple episodes now. We just love making fun of websites because we see it all. You see it all. We had this thread going for a while of like the most garbage websites, and it just got worse every time.
We should make
just,
a calendar.
We should just
every
include
year we should
Chris
do a
on that
calendar.
thread.
Yeah.
It's like here's one. Here's one.
What 95% of websites are
They're
awful.
so funny. And they're the worst. I couldn't think of. Is there another industry that has a worse
I don't know.
collection of websites?
It's crazy, man.
And even if it looks good, does it get anything done?
Solopreneurs have better.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I make a T-shirt and I sell this T-shirt and it's like, look how good their website is. It's got like
my
AR on
favorite
the
one
wall,
is and it's not necessarily a bad thing. I just think it's funny when the dog's on the staff page. Like here's Henry and
Yeah.
Henry's wearing a bow tie. And
Cheap
he's-
customer experience.
Yeah, right. Like not to say it's a bad thing. I actually think it's kind of funny, but it cracks me up.
It's charming.
Yeah, it's charming.
Yeah, dude, I've seen it all. I've seen it all, man. And I don't want to see it anymore. It's like painful
Yeah.
sometimes. I'm like, Jesus, dude. Like, and I get it. Like this industry is still trying, make its way out of the Stone Age in many respects. And for a long time, it was the internet wasn't around. I mean, shit's really only 15, 20 years
It's a
old.
fad,
So
man.
it's
It's
like,
gonna go away.
still people are like evolving out of their old shoes and buying new shoes and moving up. So it's like, but yeah, like sometimes I'm like, I've never seen, industries just like completely devalue, that tool in their toolbox, like the way that
that's a good
a
way
lot
to
of
put it.
agencies do. It's like they truly believe, not all of them, but a great deal of them truly believe that like word of mouth referrals is the only way to do anything.
Yeah.
We don't need to advertise. We don't need a website. We don't need an app. We don't need any of this technology. It's like, no, dude, it's 2022. Like,
Yeah.
you
Google's real, man.
So-
We need our pleated khakis.
yeah, Google is real.
It's a
It's
real
not
thing.
it's not just a idea.
Yeah.
Chris, how'd you find your way into the industry? I mean, were you
Nice,
an
I was gonna
agent,
ask.
or how did you get here?
Good question.
Yeah, man. So I actually started selling insurance. I'll make a very long story short.
Thank God.
Started selling insurance at AIG. This is like like economy failure bust with like the mortgage default swaps. Basically, all these banks and stuff like went out of business and whatnot. AIG was wrapped up into that heavily. They had to rebrand, and anyway, they were like liquidating and having fire sales with like different departments and whatnot. I kind of saw the writing on the wall, even though I was like one of their better sales reps. So a friend of mine has a financial planning firm in Philly. He asked me to start a scratch agency in there. They do retirement planning, financial planning, estate planning, tax prep, all kinds of stuff under one roof. And he's like, the last piece we don't have is the insurance. So can you do that? I'm like, yeah, no problem. I have my license. We signed a contract with SIAA. We got a bunch of different carriers. We started writing business. The whole time I was doing that, and even before I sold insurance, I went to school for visual communications, which was like a combination of a lot of different stuff, arts and media, graphic design, communications. And that was like really what I always wanted to do in some capacity. I'm just a right brain person. I'm not a numbers person or, insurance type person, mentally, but I'm very artistic. I can draw, I can do stuff like that, and the creative. And I'm like, man, I was doing side stuff for a long time. People would say, hey, can you design these posters, or can you design these business cards? Or like I was doing all of our marketing stuff for the financial firm, a lot of it anyway. They would say, hey, we need an idea for this. We did a lot of direct mail back in those days to do financial seminars. And so I would be like copywriting sales hooks and postcards and designing stuff, and like started building websites. This is like, literally like 10 years ago, like people had HTML websites. There was no such thing as like, core web vitals or mobile responsive or any of that stuff like there is today. It was very basic technology, but kind of taught myself a lot of the strategies and a lot of the stuff, and started writing code, and then realized, man, I don't have to do this. There's this thing called WordPress, which was at the time just like a blogging. It was a blogging platform. Now it's very robust. It's all kinds of crazy stuff that you can do. And I'm like, man, like this makes it a lot quicker. So built a couple websites, built the financial planning website. They loved it. They're like, dude, this is great. You did this shit? And I'm like, yeah, I did it. And built a website for a couple of agencies. And dude, that just took off like wildfire. Before I knew it, it was like I was building 2 or 3 websites, every couple of weeks. And then I got up to like, 50 customers, and then I got to 100 customers, then I got to like 200 customers. I'm like, oh shit,
It's working.
and I'm like, this is not only is it like what I really mentally and creatively want to do, but it's starting to make money, and I'm like, I was making good money running the agency. Don't get me wrong, and it was like, my sort of trajectory was very good with that as well. The stuff that we were doing, it wasn't just selling insurance. I was referring people over to our financial planners and getting like revenue sharing in that, and that's where like the big commissions and the big money was. But I was like, man, like if I can figure out a way to do this full time, I'm gonna probably try to do it, because insurance wears you out, man. You guys know, you sold an agency, like it's you get to a point where you're like, I want to do something I love to do, not something that I just like to do.
You can only do the same process so many times before you,
Yeah.
you know, yeah.
And it's tough, man. It's a grind. And what I do right now is a grind, to be honest with you. It's a different grind, but it's something that I don't feel like I'm ever working. You know, it doesn't feel like a job ever to me. And that's kind of, you know, what's the saying, you know, if you find what you love to do, you'll never work a day in your life. And that's kind of where I'm at with what I do. But, and I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you. I mean, I knew, the right people at the right time, man. I got lucky in some respects, being in the IOA Facebook group and just being able to network with so many agencies at that time. You know, I kind of rode the wave with that group. I mean, I was in the group and there was 200 people, 300 people, and I was like the go-to person for any kind of digital stuff at that time. There was a couple other people as well, but you know, people started to come to me privately, DMing me. Getting on
what they come privately to you with? What were they saying, man? Tell me about it.
It was interesting picks, man.
Yeah, I bet.
Hey, man.
But no, I mean, it just evolved from there, dude. And just, honestly, man, it's like I didn't plan on it happening the way it did, but I'm glad that it did, man, because I've worked my fair share of shitty jobs and like not been happy with my life in certain careers and jobs, and it's like it's a blessing to me. So
you said you were going to keep that short.
Yeah, sorry.
I liked
that
it,
was
man.
I
liked it.
Sorry.
Chris,
I just like giving Chris shit.
Chris, let me don't take this shit for no, man. You don't want to poke the Philly bear, man.
No.
He'll get out here. Whoa. You were just about to push the fast forward button on this ad. I guarantee you do not want to fast forward through this ad. What's up, guys? It's the Glovebox crew here, part of the Cease and Desist podcast. Look, we had a really large agency here in Denver, Colorado, and there's one thing I hated about insurance and our business. It's service work. It is the worst. It literally takes me away from being able to sell business and grow my agency. Hiring service reps, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year. You can't get them in fast enough. You can't keep them. You can't train them. It's very difficult. Stop. It's why we created Glovebox. Sean, tell them why.
Because insurance servicing sucks.
It's awful. And consumers hate to call you as well. Newsflash, you're not their friend for the most part, unless you write your buddy's insurance. Otherwise, they're not your friend. So look, Glovebox is geared to reduce your service by 25 to 35%. Think about the bottom line to your agency. Less human capital, less frustrations, less headache. Let your CSRs do higher level work that makes you revenue, and get Glovebox today. So let me ask you this. You know, I think there's a lot of miseducation in the insurance space, specifically about where websites add value now beyond like the obvious, and where maybe the next, and it sounds cheesy, but the next 5 years of what websites are going to do. Do you have any insight on that? Beyond, again, the normal, oh, it's my brand, people want to look me up, there I am. Like, I'd love to hear your opinions on like where we're at now beyond the surface level and then where they're going.
Yeah, 100%. So I think right now the way that I would sort of, water it down, right now I think a website for an agency is the most direct line and maybe the biggest source of credibility for an agency, in my opinion.
Sure.
It's the closest, most direct thing to your actual physical location and your physical business, right? It's your digital office, digital office space. And like you said, branding and team and humanity. Like we always tell people, like, we want to bring the human element out of your agency and put it on your website. We want people to see you and your team and you're silly and fun.
Yeah.
So I think that right now, that's a big part of it. And that's, in my opinion, very important because you're in an industry, and I'm sort of speaking to agencies right now, where you're selling the same shit as a million other people with the same elevator pitch. You're selling the same carriers with the same tagline. We're independent, family owned.
We sell, we service. Yep. The whole nine.
There's no way to differentiate yourself, right? And a website is one of those ways to differentiate yourself from the million other people that are doing the same shit you're doing. And same thing with Glovebox app, right? Like, if I'm an agent, if I had to do this all over again, like, and a lot of this shit didn't exist when I was an agent, dude, I would be doing everything I could, any tool that I could, to separate myself from the dude down the street that, his website looks like shit. I don't want to be that guy.
Right.
To build on the question and say, the next 5 years, I think a website really could become and probably will become more of a integration hub with other tools.
Sure.
Right. So something that not just says the who, what, when, where, why, and let's get people get a quote and maybe ask a question or service request or whatever. But how can I connect it? And this is starting to happen already, where through the power of some custom integrations and stuff like Zapier, you can connect your forms to a CRM or an AMS or this tool or that tool or whatever.
Right.
And you can push data in a million different ways. So with Glovebox, we have the ability to sort of iframe that on the site. We've done that for a bunch of different mutual customers and stuff. So just, I think the integration part of it is going to become more of a talking point. And really, man, just, helping people generate, it sounds cheesy or maybe not the most like fancy answer, but just helping people make money. Like, it's now more than ever, people are searching online. It's 70+% of all insurance transactions start online. They might not end online, but they start there. And it's just always going to be, a website is always going to be, a part of that, revenue generation thing. Like with you guys, right? I'm sure part of your pitch to people is, this app is going to save you a shitload of time, and it's going to save your clients time, and therefore it's going to save you time, and time is money that you can reinvest back into here, and here.
Do you want to come do sales like Glovebox?
Yeah, I feel like you just sold me, man. Can I give you my credit card right now?
Man, 20% commission.
Nice. I want Advisor Evolve. I want Glovebox immediately.
I mean, dude, it's client experience, and client experience is like very important. Yes, and it matters.
It's client experience.
Resembles everything about your agency.
I think there's we actually talked about this with Ryan Hanley a couple weeks ago. I think there is a trend right now happening with the second wave, if you want to call it insurtech, whatever, technology that's being created right now that is very efficient, but it's uber fragmented. And so it's really, really difficult to buy all of these technologies for your agency and create any sort of synergy between them. And it just seems like something like your website with Advisor Evolved or Glovebox or one of those client-facing platforms is something that should be that hub to where all of these things can plug into, and you can kind of plug and play, right? How automated do you want to go? Like, what experience do you want to create? And I think it's important for people like you and us to push that forward and be
100%.
A supporting, kind of pillar for those techs, man, because otherwise it's going to get out of control.
Yeah, I agree, dude. And the thing too, right? I mean, this is the case with a lot of different industries, but there's 3 layers to what you do as an agent: the client, the prospect, and you, the business owner. Right. And the website needs to be able to help all 3 of those parties, right? Yeah. Whether that be, writing new business, servicing existing clients, facilitating, we have people that use our website to do internal forms to send to VAs and stuff to quote insurance. So they're using it as a toolbox, not just a lead generation thing or whatever, but they're using it every day, to create video proposals and create case studies that they're generating leads on Facebook with, like crazy stuff like that, where it's not just a brochure website, it's not just a static business card. So it's I think to maybe add onto your question, like a good website and a website in general, its place in the ecosystem is to help, nurture prospects, help prospects find you, help the agencies save time, and help, you save your customers time. So it's like helping all 3 layers.
Bang.
Hey, Chris, on the digital side, on the digital marketing side, what's one aspect that's not used as often as you would like to see?
You mean like from a tool perspective, or just like
from a tool perspective? What are you doing on your side that people just aren't taking advantage of that you'd like to see more of?
Oh, I mean, with our specific tool stack, I would probably say our case studies tool. Right. It basically allows you to create a quick landing page that shows a side-by-side comparison between your agency or your quote and some other competitor. You can put a video in it too. It's pretty dope. Cool. That's something that a lot of people use our video proposal tool. They don't use the case studies thing. And I think that's a very powerful way, because the few times I've seen people do it, it's worked very good each time. Right. This is what I would tell people to do. You have big box companies that are all over the place, Allstate, State Farm, Farmers, Geico, what have you. Go with them. Like go with them and try to eat into their and eat into their book.
Right.
And what I mean by that is create a case study that says, hey, have you been insured with State Farm for 10 plus years? Question mark.
Yeah.
If so, we just saved this dude $1,200 and gave him a $2 million umbrella and gave him way better coverage and saved him.
Yeah.
You know,
and here's a picture of him. Look at how happy he is.
and here's the side by side breakdown, so you can
Right.
see for yourself how he did it.
and
And here's a
Yeah.
form at the bottom. Like, I mean, people don't take advantage of that, but the reptilian
Right.
brain, we want to compare shit side by side.
Absolutely.
And people do that all
Or
the time.
feel like somebody already did it for us, right? I used to train my
Exactly.
agents when we were at the agency. When people would ask, "Well, I got to go get a State Farm quote," and I had them. And you may think this is cheesy. I thought it was great. I had them recite this line of, "Look, I can pretty much sell insurance anywhere I want. Like, I'm the best at what I do. If I wanted to go work at State Farm, I'd go work at State Farm, but I don't. I work here because we have the best rates, the best service, blah, 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 blah." And usually they're like, "Oh, okay, cool. That's good enough for me." It's like, usually it's good enough for them if you just show them like some sort of comparison or tell them something of like, "Oh, you've done the research. Cool. Save me time."
100%.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
and it also creates FOMO. People are like, oh shit,
Absolutely.
my neighbor's with State Farm, and they tell him, and then you start getting referrals
Yeah.
from it. From
Now you're the
one-
rock star at the barbecue.
You tell all your friends
Yeah.
who stay from they're losers.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. It's like it spreads, man. Like
Yeah.
I've seen it happen over and over again. It's but people just busy, they're too busy in their agency and stuff, and they don't have the time to like
That's
leverage
just a
every
smoke
single
screen,
tool.
man. That's just a smoke screen. Being busy is just, that's just an excuse. You know that. That's
Well,
crazy.
if they
man.
use Glovebox, they'll save a lot of time that they can
We're not even
reallocate
pay-
into.
we're not even paying this
My
man.
new,
This is-
my new pitch. My new pitch is I can put you on the golf course at least 1.5 more times a week. Fair enough. Like, what else is
You
there
make
to
it
say?
2 and it's sold.
What else is there to say?
Yeah, you want to start drinking at 2:00 instead of 5:00?
We should start
got it.
advertising at golf courses. Like, do you want to be here more? Get glove box.
Matter of fact,
I'm a construction company. How does this help?
Right above the urinal.
we have Hole 1 of Inverness right outside our office.
God,
we
I
should probably
love that.
start there.
Chris,
funny.
let me ask you this, man. Insurance agents are specifically proud, maybe is the word, of their prior websites. I know we had that issue at our agency where
Somebody was proud of that.
somebody was proud of that.
Oh, I recall.
Do you run into that friction a lot where they're like, they don't want to make changes
I
because
copyrighted
it's something
this
that
thing.
maybe they did or they
This whole
helped
transition.
create?
I
Yeah,
put in.
exactly.
This vignette.
Yeah, that happens a lot. So, and the thing that I would tell a lot of agencies is this: like, if you were, if you were going to go get a heart transplant, most people are not qualified to do that. They're not qualified to even, they don't know what the first step is, right?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to grab this like knife to maybe cut this guy open.
Scalpel.
But after that, they know nothing, right? So I would never tell a heart surgeon how to do his job.
Right.
But yet a lot of agencies try to say, no, we don't want you to do this, or we want to do it this way. And they try to dictate to us
Right.
what they think works. And we're like, no, listen, we're building the website not necessarily for you. We're building it for your customers and prospects.
Yep.
What they like matters more than what you like.
Yep.
If the world decides that they like pink and brown, and all of a sudden that becomes a trend, you better have pink and brown on your website.
Yeah.
Like you're playing the game and you're doing whatever works for your demographic, your client. That's the biggest, I think, mistake is agents get wrapped up in
Yeah.
bells and whistles and shit, and they don't pay attention to, well, who's actually going to be using the website? It's
Yeah.
your prospects and
And
clients.
do
So-
they have money that they'd like to pay me? Because that's all that matters.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. It's like you want to make it simple for prospects and clients, and think about too what you're selling, dude. It's people hate insurance. They don't want to read insurance blogs and shit like that. They want to either contact you, fill out a form for a quote or whatever. Like
Yep.
websites can and should be
Nailed
much
it.
simpler than
Yep.
a lot of people try to make them out to be. And it's,
I don't know about you guys, but I want to call my agent and sit on hold.
You sound sick in the head for saying that. Like, next thing I know, you're golfing with your dentist, man. That is funny.
Kaylin, one of
It's a
our
slippery slope.
Kaylin, one of our teammates
Slippery
here,
fucking
has
slope.
documented multiple situations where she's waited on hold 30 plus minutes, like 3 or 4 times, and she tweets about it often. Or whichever social media you put it on, but it's
Well,
kind
like,
of funny to watch.
To your point, Chris, I don't think I don't think a lot of agents put themselves in their client's shoes. I was shopping for insurance
Right.
like a year and a half ago, and I was like, just fucking tell me if the rate's going to be good. That's all I need. If you're good and the coverage is right, I'm buying. If it's not, I'm out. Like, I want to know as fast as possible, can you insure my stuff for a good rate at the coverage I need? That's it.
It's like a bank robbery. You
all
want
I
to get
need.
in, you want to get out.
That's it. And if you can't do it, don't do it. Like, I got dragged down the zebra pipeline of, like, fucking hell, man. Like, sent over to Geico and finished the quote, and then it was bad, and then it was terrible. Awful.
Yeah, dude. There's a lot of steps that make, a lot of things that make websites successful. And it's like, you really do have to focus on your market, your clients. Like, forget about what you think looks good or what you like.
Right.
Don't assume that they know what they like. And it's like, listen to people that are actually smarter than you when it comes to web development and web design. Like, we have people all the time. They're like, we want to eliminate this button, or we want to take this section off the page. And we're like, dude, no, don't do that. Like, why?
Yeah.
Don't take your button that says get a quote away. We want to change it to request proposal. Okay, well, does the average person know what that means?
Yeah, what the fuck does that mean? Like, that sounds like a long,
Request
drawn-out
proposal.
process to me.
Yeah, I'm not saying that that's bad, but like the average Joe Schmo, they understand what get a quote means. They don't necessarily know what receive your complimentary.
That's the same agent. That's the same agent that wants their client to buy on value, but then turns around and gouges you at the tech level on price for your website.
Yeah,
Even things with
get your
websites
free
are
indication here.
Yeah.
What
all
the fuck
quotes
is
are
that?
free. The thing with
Exactly.
insurance websites I think is funny is it's an interesting industry where you go look at other websites where you're like, I like this one, I like that one, but they're all typically industries that sell things that you could buy online.
Right.
So a blog and a brand become
e-commerce.
important. And Chris, you nailed it. I tell agencies all the time, I was like, why would anyone come to your website? They are there to buy something or service it.
something.
They
That's
do not
it.
care about your
Exactly.
blog.
That's
Anyone
it.
that reads an insurance blog,
They're sick.
yeah, something wrong
You
with
are
them.
sick.
There's something wrong with them. Unless your content's really funny.
Yeah.
But there's not very many insurance agencies that have like funny content.
I would
It's-
read your blog just to check out where your hair's at these days.
you
Like,
know,
And
it's just a
I
picture of the
tell
day.
this- I tell the people all the time, like Ryan, you brought up Ryan Hanley. Dude, love the dude. He's basically a professional content creator. Like, he could do this shit in any vertical, any industry. He's a pro. Like, he's got the video cameras and shit and mics and knows how to cut and splice the video. Like, he's a professional content creator. And I'll see some of his shit and I'm like, this is dope. But there's like 5 likes on the video.
right.
And it's just because it's the nature of the content that
Yeah.
we're creating. It's just, it is what it is, dude. Like,
99% of the
reading
population doesn't want to learn how they can save money on their work comp insurance. Like,
Right. It's exactly.
Ooh.
I mean, content does help in terms of SEO for sure, but it's like it helps the search engine more so than it does sometimes human beings. Like, you have to pacify Google to get people to find your website is what I'm getting at. But yeah, it's tough, man. I mean, it's insurance content. It's not sexy. It's not interesting. It's like, I tell people all the time, like, I'm not going to be reading blogs on like a funeral home's website unless somebody died, you know, like otherwise I don't want to think about it. I don't want to know about it.
Sure.
I don't care. Like, and that's kind of how the average consumer is with insurance.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. Like,
It's like going to the
don't talk
fucking
about it at the
dentist.
dinner
I'm telling you,
table.
man, you don't read dental blogs.
I would love to do a little
Yeah.
contest. I'd like to pull up just 10 random agency sites and 10 random funeral home sites and just like send them out and rank them. I bet the funeral home wins.
I bet they do.
I bet they do. I
Some
bet
of
they'd be
them do.
surprised.
Yeah.
I was actually
Yeah,
going
it's-
to have that same test, but say that agencies only focus on sales and not service on their websites. They only want to have people buy insurance. They don't care about their current clients. That
but
want
even the
service.
buying
sell is
process is
terrible.
terrible.
Yeah.
Fill out this form. We'll get back to you later.
Yeah, maybe. Bye. Chris, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you this. You seem like you're at a place in your business right now where you can be pretty selective of who you work with. Is that fair?
Yeah, we definitely turn down a lot more people now than we did when we first started. I mean, it's like an agency that doesn't want to write state minimum limits. Like, tell they got to go elsewhere. And we do that too. Like, we have people that they don't want to pay our setup fee, which our setup fee is discounted almost 100% of the time,
Right.
by 25%.
Right.
Like, dude, if you're an agency and you can't put $1,000 on your credit card,
Yeah.
like we probably
We're
don't
not a
want you.
fit. Yeah.
Yeah, we're not a fit. Like, if you don't have skin in the game and you don't understand our pricing model and why we charge a setup fee,
Right.
because we don't have a contract and we're delivering a $10,000+ value for a very small upfront cost.
Sure.
If you don't understand that, then we don't want to try to make you understand it. Like, we have plenty of people that do understand it and understand the value, and so yeah, we are selective to a degree.
Chris, what are you working on right now at Advisor Evolved that our audience should know about? What's unique? What's fun? What's different?
So a bunch of client stuff in the pipeline, man. Working on a couple websites. Working on a website for Billy Wagner, Brightway. A lot of people know Billy. He's one of the giants in the industry. He's actually well, he already did. He wrote a book, which I think is pretty cool. It's selling on Amazon. Hopefully, I'm not.
You know what? That's all right, man.
Here.
It's all good.
No
but
press
yeah,
is bad press.
he hit me up for a website. I'm also doing a website for Risk Advisor, which is another SaaS in the industry.
Yep.
David Watson from Mappus Insurance. A lot of cool shit, man, that a lot of agencies have created, software and services and stuff like that. Built the website for Casey Nelson from Stackwise.
You got Indium.
We don't.
Oh, yeah.
We don't just. Yeah, we just launched the website.
We
for
watched a
Indium.
drunk agency owner try to steal Casey's shirt last week. So we have
Oh,
video
really?
We're gonna
of
have
it.
to release
Oh, yeah.
that video
We'll have to
now,
release
aren't
that
we?
video. Oh yeah, this dude had
shit.
his shirt off. Was trying to get Casey's shirt for what, Sean? At least 5 minutes. At least.
We're gonna tweet that
Very
video.
nice.
out.
It was very nice.
impressive. Yeah. Oh yeah, Casey handled it.
I
like
thought
a
they were
boss,
best
too.
buddies. They
That's
just
awesome.
met.
Yeah, good job on that Indium one, man. It looks good.
Yeah, the Indian one was fun, man. That was cool. So not just building websites for agencies, but
Right.
also other software companies and other companies in the insurance industry, man. That's been cool. We're also working on a couple of improvements to some of our internal stack, just the way that we actually build client sites. We have a pretty good process down now that we're trying to make even better and kind of automate, so that when people place an order, it automates a lot of stuff on the back end in WordPress and creates a staging site and all kinds of cool stuff like that, so that we can streamline our own internal processes, so that people can spend more time doing other stuff versus some of the technical stuff that we can kind of automate. And then always trying to figure out ways to innovate, man. And like sometimes it's tough to do that. You don't want to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
But when you're in an industry like ours, where I think a lot of agency owners, they just want what's new.
Yeah.
If you say, "Yo, this is new," they'll be like, "It is? Okay."
Take my
and they
credit
jump
card.
on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They jump on it. So it's
As
one
they
of those
should.
things where,
As they should.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing. It's like it rightfully so, but it's also like, let's slow down a little bit, make sure that it's like a fit for your agency and works for you. And so, yeah, it's trying to innovate, man, and trying to think of ways that we can kind of evolve our product.
Yeah.
We're actually working on a new version of our website as well.
Do you need
there's
a
ton
website guy? I can hook you up
Of, ton
if
of
you need.
shit, dude.
My guy Chris will hook you up, man.
There's a ton of shit in the pipeline, man. Like it's honestly sometimes it's like overwhelming, but it's
Yeah.
like it's stuff that you can't say no to. You know what I mean? It's like friends in the industry and.
Little
Hey,
company
can you
called
build us a
Apple.
site for this? And I'm like, dude, yeah, I got you. It's like,
Yeah.
if your brother opened up a barbershop, you would go let him cut your hair, even if he wasn't that good, just because
Yeah,
it's your
yeah.
brother. You know what I mean?
Not my brother.
No one
Clearly,
touches
Sean.
Sean's hair.
Clearly,
No one
Sean
touches
doesn't have
Sean's hair.
brothers that cut hair, dude.
So let's,
I'll get a cut anywhere.
Chris, let's land this plane, man. What separates Advisor Evolve?
Oh, you got a question?
I did have a question.
Oh, go ahead, man. I'm sorry. We won't land this plane yet. Go ahead.
How fucking
it back up.
dare you?
You got to raise your hand, Andy. We've taught you this.
Let's leave it on the tarmac for a little bit.
You got to raise your hand.
I want him to. I want to allow Chris to elaborate on something. So you've said "we" a number of times. How many do you have on staff over there?
Yes, we're a smaller team, man. We have 7-8 people. Myself, who I'm like the chief cook and bottle washer. I do a lot of tech support. I do demos. I do sales calls. I do a little bit of everything. Man, what we do is honestly, it's not easy. There's a lot of wrinkles and a lot of shit that you have to know, not just about websites and SEO, but you have to know like different pieces of the ecosystem. Softwares like Glovebox, people, when my sales guy first got started, people would mention your name and he's like, "What's this Glovebox thing?" And I'm like, "You gotta know who these people are, knowing the industry." We have 3 project managers, so these are people that when a new customer signs up, we round robin those opportunities into sort of a bucket where this person takes the next client, just so that we don't get too jammed up. And then we have 2 developers, so they're not like people that work in a brick and mortar location. All of us are remote. So yeah,
Okay.
and then we have a customer service rep and a sales guy.
I'm always curious how those how companies like yours are built and how they're structured and how many you need to run it or properly. I mean, you guys are fairly big now, so
it's funny, dude. It just comes together, and like honestly, man, you start hiring people out of necessity, not just because you're like, oh, I need somebody who can do this, and it's almost like trying to hire like a producer or a CSR in an agency, and that's why agencies struggle to do it because there's just too much to know. There's a lot to know, and you have to be a good talker. You have to understand so many different things. It's really an art and science, man, doing what we do.
Cool.
But yeah.
Well said. Yeah, I was curious about that. That's cool. Ryan, land
Curious
the plane.
like a cat.
Land the plane.
Land this plane, man.
Hey guys, after we started Glovebox and started reviewing a lot of agencies' websites, I'm wondering if you guys noticed the same thing that I did. You go to an agency's website and their attempt at servicing for the client is they create some sort of a service page. They list all the carriers they work with. One, super hard for the client to even know what carrier they're with.
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot. Let's just say they do know what carrier they're with. I would challenge anyone listening to this to go to their own webpage, click on that servicing button, and click on any one of the carriers. I don't care which one it is, and then see what they see. What I find when I see that on an agency's website is that it is a direct link to the carrier's page, which is got a tiny little button that says login somewhere at the top right, the top left. It's very hard to find, but what you do find front and center is that carrier trying to take those clients direct for those quotes that they should be coming to your agency for.
Now they're saving 8%. Chris, what separates Advisor Evolve from the industry? Like what, besides you and what you bring to the table, what is the differentiator that agencies should be thinking about? Why do they come to Advisor Evolve?
Dude, because we're so much more than just a web development shop.
Right.
I mean, it's not just a tool that we build. Honestly, man, it's what goes into that. It's the support behind what we do. It's our knowledge of the industry. It's what we do outside of just delivering a website.
Right.
Hey, Chris, we need help with our Zapier. Hey, Chris, should we get Glovebox or should we get Agency Zoom? And I'm like, they're two different things, right? And, just educating people and being sort of like an advisor. We're like an agency advisor in so many ways, dude, outside of just building a website. And I mean, you could go to Fiverr right now and have some rando build you a website for $500 with, 10 plus pages, some content maybe, and it might not look like shit. That's not what we deliver though. We are delivering more of a website as a service, not just a here's your website, take care kind of thing. We're helping manage it, update it. There's been people that have sort of copied our model because they see like, oh shit, like they're like
it's desirable.
They're gaining steam. Like we could do what he does and maybe do it better.
Right.
Well, but still people try.
Sure.
It's a copycat league, Chris. It's a copycat league.
Well, I think what I appreciate about you is you simplify it, right? You speak English to people.
I try to.
Well,
when people can understand what
you're
I'm
very
saying,
relatable. It's easy to be like, oh, okay, cool. I understand what you're saying. You're putting it in layman's terms. Like you're not talking in like HTML code and like, things that normal people don't understand. Yeah. Like
it's not a normal website that you get on Fiverr. Someone's just going to build a normal website.
That's what Chris just said, Sean.
Yeah. Well,
so
it's
Sean,
an idea.
as a wrap up, Chris, Sean, do you want to ask Chris what we ask every guest, the hard hitting questions that we have to know?
Not to put you on the
before we
spot.
sign off.
You might have to help me. I missed some last time. All right.
Damn it.
we asked these to everyone. First one. Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter. Or
All right.
dealer's choice.
Dealer's choice. What are you reading right now?
It's right here. It's called Category Pirates. It's a book that talks about defining your own or creating your own category. Nick Ayers put me onto it.
Cool.
By the way, I read like one page per year. So
I like that.
When I say I'm reading it, I mean
You're digesting it.
Can you open it up right now? Let's read a page together. Come on, let's do it.
You looked up. It's just like
It's a
one
book
little
club.
line on
It's
the
a
wall.
picture book.
Yo, big secret, guys. I actually can't even read.
Oh, there it is.
No, I can only read in code. All right, next question. What are you listening to, and where are you listening to it on?
I listen to
Could be.
YouTube music on my phone, and
Oh,
I'm a
never
big
heard
Bruno Mars fan.
Nice.
Wow.
And I'm a big Michael McDonald fan. My music tastes are all over the place.
Sheesh.
I mean, we've heard crazy stuff.
When you're deep in development, what do you like? Like, what gets your brain flowing?
Dude, honestly, like I like kind of like hip hop, R&B kind of stuff, like
Yeah,
up tempo stuff.
Nice.
I don't
So
put
Drake,
on like
perfect. All right, cool.
yeah, Drake, stuff
do-
like that. I mean,
Yeah.
I grew up in the city, dude. I'm a city boy. I kind of, I like rap, hip hop, R&B.
Yeah.
I like all that kind of stuff. So
Nice.
YouTube Music. I don't think we've heard that one
Yeah.
yet.
I didn't know that was a thing.
like it.
But I also listen to Napster, so it is what it is.
Napster.
I do, and everybody makes fun of me.
All right,
That's
next question. This one can be very broad. Who are you cheering for? Could be anything.
Man, who am I cheering for? Oh man, you know what? I'm cheering for people like me and you. Honestly, I'm gonna
Me and
pat
Chris.
ourselves on the back a little bit here. What I mean by that is software and tools and applications that were built by agencies and people that actually did this shit and were in the foxhole. I'm rooting for us, honestly, man, because I think we are a great asset, man, to the industry.
Yeah.
And I want to see people like you win and people like me win, man, because I feel like we come on podcasts like this, we joke around, we drink and curse and stuff, but at the end of the day, like honestly, man, we are really trying to move this industry forward and
Yep.
help agencies win. So it's I'm cheering for us, man.
I love that,
Yeah,
man.
I like that answer. That's a good
We're
answer.
trying to champion, man.
No. He
Trying-
said me and you guys weren't included.
Oh,
He said you and me. So it was me. It was me and Chris.
It's the third time today, Sean. That's the third time today.
Just make
Hey,
sure
Cole,
that's noted
you're
for
the
meeting
birthday
notes.
boy, dude.
Yeah,
You
that's
can
right.
say whatever
He's
you
doing
want
it.
Cheering for me.
today.
All right.
You can steal the shine.
I don't know if I'm
See if
missing.
Sean-
There's
his
the
paycheck
one more.
makes it
The
tomorrow. What are you investing in,
yeah.
Chris?
There we go. There we go.
What are you investing in right
Investing
now?
in.
Yeah.
his sports betting.
Besides your sports betting, which could be an investment or could not be. I don't know.
Where are you losing your
I
money,
can give
Chris?
you a
Don't judge
very
me on my
technical
winners.
answer.
Judge me on my losers because I have so few. Sorry, go ahead.
I've invested in several insurtech software companies. Also invested in never Bitcoin. I never got on
Nope.
that train, thankfully. But to be honest with you, man, I have a financial advisor who's a good friend of mine who I would trust with my life. And if I'm being 100% honest, I don't know the shit that he has me in right this second, but I do have money in the market. And
Yeah.
We all know how that
I
is
like
going.
that.
Don't sell. People are gonna be calling for your dirty laundry.
Now,
there's no like cannabis ETFs or anything. Like, sorry
No.
to disappoint people, but no, I mean, man, I have slid some cash to some friends that are in our space, man, to help them
love
get
that.
their business off the ground.
Thanks
and
for
so
your $100, man. It was perfect.
Yeah.
Got us up and
the
running.
check
Sorry.
bounced though. It went bouncy. So Chris, on that note, I am on the hunt throughout the U.S. for a Dogecoin millionaire. Do you know anybody that was a millionaire from Doge?
I do not.
All right,
I
if
do
you
not.
meet them, I want to meet them because I want them on this show.
They're probably no longer.
We're gonna interview the Dogecoin millionaire.
We're gonna find something.
If you're
wanna know.
listening, please tweet at us.
Find them, please.
Well, Chris,
That's funny, dude.
well, I kinda,
Whoa.
Like, I don't. Ooh, yeah, okay.
Andy just
I was
turned
excited. I was excited. No, Chris, I don't think we reached our goal of cuss words. So what are we gonna do about it? Shit, fuck. What are we doing here? Damn it!
Oh,
Taking this
shit.
offline.
Dang.
Dude, don't get me started. Listen, man, if I had a couple light beers in me, I'd probably be
I noticed you said the light beers. What happened there? What happened to the IPAs?
There's nothing wrong with counting
Dude,
calories. All right.
I used to be a
Beach
huge
season.
IPA guy, man. And COVID hit. I was in the best shape of my life. COVID hit. All I did was drink. Not all I did, but like I drank more so than I
think
would
everyone did.
previously.
Yeah.
But before I would drink like one night a week, like Friday night or Saturday night. Me and my buddies would hang out. I'd have a couple of beers, IPAs, and then COVID. It's like you're sitting around. You're like, shit. There's not a whole lot else to do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
9:30,
chug. I'm gonna chug 7 beers, and then like IPAs, dude. Just the next
Yeah.
day, it's like
Crush
it's not
you.
good. You could drink light beer, all night, and it's like the next day, like you're slightly groggy, but you're not like dying like
Yeah.
you would be from
Yep.
IPAs. So I kind of had to like switch gears a little bit. Like I'm 41, I'm not 21 anymore, so I can't hang with the hard shit like
Zima.
once
I
did.
went on a Zima binge.
Zima.
Yeah, you,
Very good.
you have no idea what 7 Zimas will do to your night.
Dude.
COVID.
The
Yeah.
Gen Zs don't know what Zima is. That's
guys
okay.
serious?
That's all right.
No?
Well, Chris, man, we appreciate you. We
That was a lot of
appreciate
fun.
Advisor Evolved. We appreciate what you do for the industry. I know we talk like on behalf of a lot of people that speak super highly of what you do, man. So mad respect. Good luck next year with the 76ers and Embiid. I hope it all works
Eagles.
out well. Our boy Fetters is a big Eagles fan as well, so he commiserates with you. And look, we're looking forward to getting together soon. So,
Cool, man. Let's do it, man. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for having
brother.
me on, man.
Thanks, man.
Chris.
See you.
Have a lovely day.
Nice day. Toodles.
Later, man.
sounds fun.
See you.
See you.